Hi everybody, my name is Isa and welcome to my channel Moody Eye Makeup. Today I'm going to create makeup look inspired by Phoebe Buffay from series Friends. So here is my big mug of coffee, so that I can kinda get into it. So I have already done Rachel and Monica, so please check out those videos too, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do more of those. The next one is Rachel Christmas time makeup look. Yeah, so enjoy. I'm starting with Wonder Skin Primer, which is also a little bit green. I don't know if you can see, but it should cancel out the redness. I would say that all three of them had very similar type of makeup. It was really like 90s, early 2000 inspired. So very matte eyeshadows, usually white, grey and black, and then red cheeks, very heavily red cheeks, and then some type of quite natural lipstick. But I want to have a little bit of difference between those three makeup looks, so because of that I decided to create the most different makeup looks that I could find. I'm starting with this foundation from Catrice. It's True Skin Hydrating Foundation. This is in the shade Neutral Porcelain. I'm using my Sigma brush for that. I'm starting in the center of my face and then I'm blending to the perimeters of my face. So they were quite matte foundations, matte to satin. Everything was more matte, but then they had a gloss over their lipstick, or matte lipstick as well. And at the beginning of Friends there was a trend to have more grungy makeup look. Because Friends stretched over so many years, I have a chance to pick and choose which type of makeup to choose from different eras. But yeah, they didn't change that much. So that's my foundation. Then I'm using the same line from Catrice, True Skin Concealer. This one is a little bit lighter. And then I'm using this flat brush to blend out. First to push in the product, let it sit for a few seconds, and then to blend out. Let's continue. I'm using my paint pot from MAC for my eyeshadow base. And then I'm going to set my whole base with e.l.f. HD powder. First my eyeshadow base, that really helps with blending out your eyeshadows very easily and seamless. And if you have very oily skin, I wouldn't skip, very oily eyelids, I wouldn't skip that step. If you want to set your under eye area, then first try to get rid of any creases so you don't lock them in. Yeah, but I'm not going to set my cheeks because they are already too dry. I'm going to use the slightest amount of bronzer. I'm using the bronzer from the Balm, Take Home the Bronze, in the shade Oliver. This is one of my favorite bronzers, especially for a winter time. It's very subtle, and what I like the most about this one is the shade. It's not orange at all. It's perfect. I think they all had a bronzer on it. In my opinion, they were all tanned in one moment as well. So, and because this was a TV show, they had much more of a thick makeup on, much more matte. It was more matte because of it. Back then, these kind of shows were recorded under a lot of studio lights. You know, everything was just bright. There wasn't any shadows or, you know what I mean. So yeah, they had to put some bronzer and a lot of blush on them so that they didn't look washed out. Then I decided to use actually this product from Essence. This is wonderful Pink and Proud Baked Blushlighter, which I really like, and I've made a video about it, a review, so you can check it out if you're interested. I think that Phoebe was the only one that wore a little bit more of pink shades that weren't too pink as well. I'm going to insert some pictures from Phoebe so you can see her makeup, but I think they put blush from the apples of her cheek to kinda the hairline near her ears. They didn't put it on her temples. So the line of blush was a little bit more straight than with Monica and Rachel, which was more from the temples to the nose, but it didn't always end up on the apples of their cheeks. Back then, they haven't used that very shiny glass looking highlighters as we like them now. So I decided to use this product from Essence, the highlighter in the shade Heroic, because it's not so beamy, you know. It's a little bit more subtle. And I'm going to apply above my blush in a straight line as well. And then under the brows. And that's it for the highlighter. I totally forgot to bring with me damp beauty blender, so I'm going to kind of go over with my fingertips to make it a little bit more natural looking. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows. Back then they had 2 lines instead of their eyebrows. Yeah, I'm not going to plug them. I don't have the most bushiest brows, but they are not very thin. So I'm just going to fill them in, and that's it. I will try to make it as thin as possible. If you watched my previous 2 videos from series Friends, so Rachel and Monica, then you will already know this makeup palette. I just think this is the perfect eyeshadow palette for Friends, so for those 3 women, sorry. So this is from Catrice Pro Slim eyeshadow palette in Vintage Soul. I just think these shades are perfect for those makeup looks that they wore. I'm starting with the lightest one, so with this one. This is in the shade Sheer. I'm applying this one across my eyelids, just to brighten up this part. For my crease shade, I'm starting with this one, Cozy, which is a slight, like very bright but beautiful, warm gray color. I hope this is going to be dark enough for my transitional shade. Yeah, it's nice. Phoebe has droopy eyelids, as I do. Because of that, they really made sure to put a matte gray shade on this part of her eyes, you know, that hangs down a little bit. You know, I'm not that old. This is just my eye shape. Then I'm using darker gray. This one, this is Haze. And I'm placing that one with a little bit more precision over the first one. So I'm following the shape of my eyes. So like that. And then I'm going over with this grayish, but with a bit of shimmer moon dust. So I'm going even lower with this one. Like that, yeah. Then I'm using bigger, clean, fluffier brush to soften everything, to create better transitions, to blend out. And then I'm going to use again the first shade we use, so the shade Sheer, the lightest one, and we will go over again. That. But near your eyelashes, not too high. Then I'm going to use the moon dust under my eyes, but not a lot, just a tiny bit. In my inner corners, I'm going to put the slightest amount of highlighter. I think that sometimes she had that bright inner corner, but not as much as we are used to now. So a tiny bit, just to kinda brighten up this part. And then I'm going to use this dark black, which is in the shade Noir, with my angled brush to go near my eyelashes and in between them. So just to get a little bit of definition and a little bit of fullness, so that when you put on your mascara, your eyelashes look a little bit more, you know, voluminous. And this line should be very, very soft. And I think that they did that to her lower, eyelashes, so that it's a little bit more defined. I'm always making the most crazy faces when I'm doing my lower part of my eyes. It just cannot look graceful. Now I can finally put on mascara. So she wore red, nude, kind of brownie, more grungier type of lipsticks. Then she wore subtle red as well. But as I said, I want to create different versions of Fran's makeup look. So she wore, you know, that a little bit more mauve pinks as well on her lips. So I'm kind of contemplating what to put on. I think I may just do that because I have like this lipstick. I think it's quite there. So yeah, I'm going to start with this NYX lip pencil in the shade Mauve to outline my lips first. And then on top I'm going to apply this lipstick. To kind of get the right shade, and then on top of that I'm going to use this Fenty cream lip gloss in the shade Candy Milk. So yeah, this is Phoebe Buffay's makeup look. You can always create more softer look, you know. You can always apply a little bit less or blend out a little bit more. I'm going to leave it at that. For my final touch, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set. What do you think about my background? I'm loving it so much. I think it's a minimalistic, but it has, you know, a little bit of holiday vibes as well. It's a little bit darker for winter time. I don't know. I'm quite loving it, I have to say. Okay, so this is finished look. I really hope you like it. Please watch my Rachel and Monica's makeup look as well, and tell me if you think that I nailed it or that I missed something, or should you like to see some other makeup look from some other show or from the same series but a little bit different from the different season or something like that. Have a nice day and see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.